Hello guys, Aspen here. I'm out today just taking a short little walk, but today I want to test my Action 2 and the Hero 10 in 4K 60. I'm shooting now on the GoPro Hero 10, as you probably can see, in wide. I have some issues with the Action 2, especially with some kind of compression or flickering in the image. So today I want to test 4K 60 just to see if there are any more flickering. I'm only using the camera module on the Action 2 today, just because it's gonna rain. It's pretty shitty weather. I'm shooting in 4K 60 wide, natural color, and medium sharpness on the Hero 10. And of course I want to compare the image quality also on these two cameras. I'm not 100% sure on the Action 2 yet. I'm not quite sure what's the problem is with that camera, but I did a test the other day with the Pocket 2, and the image on the Pocket 2 seems to be a little bit better, and that's strange because it's more or less the same sensor, so the image quality should be pretty much the same. So I'm gonna take up my Action 2 now and shoot a clip more or less the same as I'm doing now, just to see how the image quality is on these two cameras. There are some issues with the Action 2. It shouldn't be, but I really hope that DJI are gonna fix that, because I think the camera has really good potential. But today I just want to do a comparison in 4K 60 and see if we have the same flickering in the image. I think it has to be something with the stabilization on the camera. I'm not quite sure why. It shouldn't be like that, because you couldn't see that on the Osmo Action, the old one. But I think this is a good comparison between these two cameras, the Hero 10 and the Action 2. So I really hope that DJI can improve these things with the camera, because it's starting to be a lot of problems with the camera. I see many people are complaining about the field of view, it's too wide, and you have the compression problems, you have overheating problems, and there seems to be some kind of charging problems. And I really hope that DJI push out a firmware update pretty quick, because before people are returning the Action 2. So this is shot on the Hero 10. We're now gonna take up our Action 2 and see how the image is, and maybe we can do some side by side just to see how the image looks side by side. I'm walking the same path with these two cameras, going back and forward, because this was the only place that the trail was pretty dry. It's quite wet, but let's take up the Action 2 and see how the image looks in 4K 60. Okay guys, we put up the Action 2 now. I'm using a new cage from Small Rig. It's excellent for the Action 2, but like I said, I want to test the image quality in 4K 60. I'm walking the same path. We are now shooting with the Action 2 in standard D-warp. I think it's still too wide. I hope that DJI will come up with a new mode, so we can select a linear mode on the Action 2. I still think this camera has a lot of possibilities to make it even better. It's a pretty big sensor and a really small body. I really don't hope I get any overheating issues now. I'm usually just shooting short clips, and I'm walking the same path now as I did with my Hero 10. Normal color, white balance up to 5500, 4K 60, shooting in D-warp. I'm walking the same path. How are the colors and the image? It's too sad that I can't use the screen module now, because it's probably gonna rain pretty soon. This is a good test for the Action 2 in conditions like this. It's the middle of the day, the lighting condition is okay, not great, but this camera should produce pretty good images. And like I said, when I'm walked with the Hero 10, I really hope that DJI will make a necessary improvement to this camera, because I still think this camera can be great, has a lot of possibilities. DJI is known for being really good with firmware updates and trying to improve their products all the time, and I really hope they do that with this camera too, because I still like it, and I think I'm gonna keep it. I'm not 100% sure, but I just want to wait and see what DJI will do with it. I still got some time to decide, but DJI, you have to do something about this camera just to make it better. So we're just gonna wait and see. But yeah, how are the image? How does it look? I'm turning now so you can see the background. You can see it's pretty overcast today. The lighting condition isn't great, but this camera should produce pretty good images in lighting conditions like this, so I really hope they do something. Let's take up our GoPro Hero 10 and do some side by side just to see how that looks. Okay guys, we now got the Dji Action 2. I have the GoPro Hero 10 on my left side, and I have the Dji Action 2 on my right side. How is the image looking? How does it expose to the sky? I don't have a screen on the Action 2 because I'm only using the camera module. We are shooting in 4K 60 on both camera. We have wide on the Hero 10, and we have standard D-warp on the Action 2. I still think the field of view on the Action 2 is way too wide, and I really hope that DJI will come up with some kind of linear mode like GoPro Hero 10 has. GoPro was pretty fast out with a firmware update to improve the overheating issues they had with the GoPro Hero 10. I really hope that DJI will do the same with the Action 2, because I still think this camera is excellent and has a bunch of possibilities to make it even better, and the image quality should be better than the Hero 10. So let's see how everything looks. This is all natural color. I'm walking Rocksteady 2.0 on the Action 2 and Hypersmooth 4.0 on the Hero 10. So this is pretty bad lighting conditions right here. I'm walking on the only dry spot on the trail. It's been pretty windy lately and raining every day. The weather is just crap and I really hate it, but this is the way it is. We always got the weather like this, especially when it's getting close to winter time and it's autumn, so we got a lot of rain in Norway. But how does the image quality look like? I'm walking side by side with the Action 2 and the GoPro Hero 10. I started to like the GoPro Hero 10 more and more, especially after GoPro did the latest firmware. I see some people still have some issues with it. It's turning off, especially when your battery is draining a little bit. And the same is with the Action 2. There's been a bunch of videos and people are pretty unhappy with that camera. But like I said, I still think it does have a lot of good things about it, and I still think that the modular design can be the future in many ways. It's extremely small, lightweight, and I really like the design, and the quality feels pretty good. I just want to show you one thing. I have the small rig cage on the Action 2, as you can see. It looks pretty nice. So I think this will improve the durability of the camera if you drop it. I don't want to have too many scratches on the camera. I think that's excellent design by Small Rig, and they was pretty fast on the market. It's just a couple of weeks since the DJI Action 2 was launched, so it's good to see that third-party companies come up with cages like this, and it was pretty cheap. I think it only was $30 US, so that's good. Small rig. Why not send me anything for review for free so I can test it? I have some action cameras, so I really wanna test what you have. And the same is, I have a new tripod from Ulanzi. It's the MT16. Feels pretty good, quality. Feels pretty good in the hand. I have some kind of plastic, rubbery feel to it, but it's pretty lightweight, and I think it's gonna fit excellent to my Sony CV1. I can't use that now because of the weather. It's not waterproof. Yeah, so this is a side-by-side test with the Action 2 and the GoPro Hero 10. Two excellent cameras, but I think the GoPro is leading right now, but I think that DJI can catch them up and improve this camera much more, but you have to be quick, DJI, to come up with some kind of firmware update to improve it even more. So especially the compression and flickering in the image, and it should be much more better dynamic range on this camera also. Of course, action cameras aren't known for good dynamic range, small sensors, small body, but we're shooting 4K 60, normal colors on the DJI Action 2 and natural color on the GoPro Hero 10. I probably think that the image from the GoPro is gonna look much more sharper. I'm shooting in low sharpness and medium sharpness on the GoPro Hero 10, and you don't have any possibilities on the Action 2 to set anything, but I think the image from the Action 2 looks a little bit too flat, or too yeah, blurry, you can say. But I think they can improve something with a firmware out there. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this comparison, yeah, maybe you can, if you're thinking about getting an action camera, I think this is good to see which camera should you get. But you just have to remember one thing: what are you going to use the camera for? That's the most important thing. The advantage with the small DJI Action 2 is called the extremely small size for mounting it on your chest or on a FPV drone or whatever. And the GoPro Hero 10 is all waterproof, the whole body. With the Action 2 you have a modular design, and the only thing that are waterproof on the Action 2 is the camera module, so that's not great. And it's inboard storage, only 32 gigabyte, but you only got around 20 gigabytes, so you have to bring with you some kind of other screen module or power module to drop your footage and charge it up. So this was the side-by-side test. I'm gonna turn the camera so you can see how everything looks here. I shot now in 7 minutes in 4K 60, no overheating issues yet, so that's good. But how are they exposing to the sky? See up there. I hope the image looks good on the Action 2. I really do. Let's see how it's exposed to my face, like that. Which one of them are exposing best to my face? I can't see that on neither of the cameras right now, but yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.